Hello and welcome to my channel. Sorry. Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Coldfire. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like me to channel details according to your own specific situation, please ask for signs and synchronicities that you would wish to see as confirmation for spiritual guidance, spirit guidance. So I'm picking up on this energy of a trauma bond coming to a close. Also, some kind of deep seated emotional bonds with a paternal figure, maternal figure, of letting them decide a future for you. Those emotions are also a trauma bond. But a main friendship between a distorted masculine and the divine masculine is uh, is being released. Is being released, and it's possibly childhood friendship. They always thought that each other has the best interest in mind. Yes, they do. They definitely do. But the reason why they had connected was to be able to transmute the energy of mental anguish. Hold on a minute. That's better. So there might be some construction going on around you as well, the structural changes. So be thankful for that energy. However, um, these bonds are being the trauma, mental anguish, the energy of mental anguish is being released, and hence it's being discovered that it was a trauma bond, but also a very strong bond and a well-meaning bond. Wanted They both just wanted to help each other. Neither one is better for having the need for a trauma bond like this. That means both of them were facing traumas equally, and they were reflected. For is but the divine masculine had um, was responsible for actually transmuting those trauma bonds, and it was the and processing the mental anguish that was created through this trauma bond, right? So it's always a two-sided bond, especially the one that has lasted for a very long time, and the purpose is to transmute the trauma from and the mental energy of anguish from the collective mind and the collective consciousness. All right, so it may have been a personal friendship, but but continuing. It may have been a genuine friendship, but continuing um, this friendship and letting the trauma bond continue and the mental anguish energy grow exponentially. Now it's to the point where it will break into a breakup due to an ugly fight. Now that realization is dawning. That realization is dawning on both the distorted masculine and the divine masculine, and they're realizing that there will be a better way to let this go. Let's see what's happening in the past, present, and future of this, because there's going to be a massive energy release once these trauma bonds between the distorted masculine and the divine masculine are are broken and transmuted. Let's see what's going to happen with that. Dwell on what you love. Asking someone to change is like pruning a tree. Neither will ever be the same again. Scarier still is that you can't quite know in what new directions they'll grow. It wouldn't change a leaf on I wouldn't change a leaf on you, the universe. Right. So it's basically once you prune a tree, right? You kind of compel it to grow in a certain direction. And trauma bonds are built between two different people, two very different, two opposite polarities, right? Uh, the light and the dark side of the masculine. The distorted masculine comes from the dark side. The divine masculine comes from the light side, right? to to sustain uh, a connection between the light and the dark side, uh, where the dark side has gone rogue and created energy of mental anguish, a third energy of a community supporting this friendship is required, and they will also be under the influence of the dark side more, and like so the mental energy and the anguish, uh, mental anguish energy will just keep on growing and multiplying. The source of the problem, like what is that shared incident, what is that shared that common experience that forged this trauma bond, that that source is coming out. It was something that they loved. Maybe they have a shared love of a place, yeah, shared love of a place. They both love the same places, preference in that, like, something of that sort. They have the same taste, they have the same choices. um in material world things, uh not like human beings, but like material world things, they like to eat the same thing, they have the same habits, they have the same um possibly taste in cars, taste in clothes. There's a shared passion and a love. They are both very dignified, like both the distorted masculine as well as the divine masculine. It's 11 o'clock. They have a dignified position, and they have a strong dignity about both of them. Libra balance. All right, so the divine masculine is showing up here to cultivate some balance here in the collective consciousness. Go to the source, and they find that there's a passion project, and they need to find some kind of sustainability. They started off like 4 sustainability, sixth house. They started off with trying to find some kind of balance here, and to cultivate some balance in this, and they balance enough to see the source of this matter, and they're discovering that source is passion. What are they collectively passionate about? Things that they're collectively passionate about, and those that um, how can I know myself as absolute bison b, like, the divine masculine has realized to cultivate some kind of balance here in this situation, and make this sustainable enough to investigate the source, and what is driving the passion, like, what is driving, oh, what is the trying to see the source of It's like passion. There is some source to this passion, that this passion to pursue this connection. It has a source. It has a source. The passion is the fuel, and it's coming from a source. It's something. They're integrating this information, the information on that's coming through, regarding this passion project. The source is some passion project. It may have been a very, very long time ago. We have liberate here. So what reminds me I'm free? Okay, so there's going to be freedom once that is discovered. That project, maybe this, it has roots in some kind of childhood passion project. Like maybe you wanted to do something when you were very young, and some kind of details around that. Like, there's details around that need to be discovered, and the reason is something that would free those details in uh, are factual information, right? Factual information on what made both the distorted masculine and the divine feminine feel truly and absolutely free, and they could be themselves. Like, they had the driving force. The passion project was built on the fact that both of them could be free, their energies could be free. But what happened in the process, in the course of events of time, that it became a trauma bond of the opposite, because they were not free. They were thinking, by doing something, by creating um, a project plan based on what they would really, really want to do in life, right? Build that information. They were ignoring the fact that they had to speak and liberate some trauma that was there. They had to liberate themselves from trauma, and only then could they integrate and build the structures that were fueled with passion to and cultivate balance in their life, to be themselves, right? So let's start. Let's see what we have in the past. They started manifesting and visualization. This distorted masculine and this divine masculine friendship, this duo, practice manifestation. One from the distorted space and one from the divine space. So you see, that's where the difference in styles, it worked together, like for a while, possibly contrast work together. Yes, it was to build themselves up as confident young individuals. Yes, look at that. Confident young individuals to show up in their how can I know myself as absolute? How can I absolutely know myself so that I can be myself, right? It's a process of self discovery, and they were manifesting material world situations, and they were manifesting the ability to they were manifesting the ability, the personality traits, as well as the character traits, to be a wholesome individual, a free individual, to liberate their true self, the inner knowing, the knowledge of the soul. And what came out was two different types of masculine. One is in a distorted energy, and one is in in divine energies. Now, divine energies and distorted energies can live a friendship throughout a lifetime, but the purpose is so that the divinity can transmute the distortion and release it, which means eventually that this friendship will have to be released and somebody was holding back from doing that work. That is where the deception came from. Somebody was unwilling to release their deceptive ways, unwilling to relieve possibly the distorted masculine was unwilling to release their deceptive ways. The manifestation started getting more darker and darker. That's why the divine masculine had to start holding back and reflect that deception, but from a divine masculine perspective. And the deception that was displayed by their friend in this trauma bond was through a distorted masculine perspective. So it's looking in the past. It's looking that there was some kind of way that this was working out, and since the focus was individual growth and not the bond, there was always a bond. There was always a bond. That was not something that was going to leave, because these two had some. They had to the journey of this self discovery. The final seal, like the final seal on the journey of self discovery. Final seal on the journey of self discovery was releasing this mental anguish that's come from this trauma bond, releasing this trauma bond, and that meant learning about the distorted masculine, and and the distorted masculine willingly allowing realize reaching the point of self realization that they will uh, offer up their distortion for the divine masculine to transmute. So yeah. But the divine masculine was absolutely refusing to put that offer in that way, like, let me help you resolve your pain, resolve your trauma, or you help me resolve my trauma. So this main friendship that these two masculines had been going on has been going on with no communication, holding back on communication, speaking up, like, talking about what hurts them, what's hurting them, and offering to help each other resolve that pain. But there is someone else that they did go to and express individually in terms, possibly a practitioner, somebody who practices releasing demons from. So it's an exorcist, somebody who can do that. Or an exorcist or a practitioner is looking into these two people and helping them release demons from past lives, something like that. At present, both of them are being exorcised. uh, Both of their demons, archons are placed in by the matrix to be able to connect with the demons, or allow the demons to do damage in your mind, right? There's but this practitioner has realized that there is some exorcism that needs to be done on either one of these individuals, or both of these individuals separately. We need to separate them. There's like this trauma bond going on, and that is really causing a lot, because there is a divine masculine involved here, and this divine masculine being in a trauma bond is creating a lot of chaos and disorder, and expanding the energy field of influence of this distorted masculine, which needs to be controlled with immediate effect. This practitioner, this priest, or whoever is gathering a lot of information on this distortion. There's a lot of use of feminine energy, the low vibing feminine energy. Uh, I came across this video yesterday. The birthday gift had uploaded about the inverted feminine, and look at that, the hermit card in reverse. So the inverted feminine energy, like waiting around, lingering around this distorted masculine, or the demonic energies waiting to be confused, yeah, around this masculine, like this inverted, around this divine masculine, these inverted feminine energies, the convoluted energies. They might look like they're caring and loving, but all they are is they're not that. They're very, very different. They're convoluted. They have developed a repulsion for um, long-term relationships, and they don't want to. They're just overly. So does the divine masculine, right? Now the distorted masculine will distort the energy of the divine masculine, right? And it will show up distorted. You will know the difference between the distorted masculine and the divine masculine energy. Um, but the inverted feminine will show up like the divine feminine, but like a mirror, not mirror, but like a reversal of it. So it starts with overly nurturing, caring, and overly like, exactly like the divine feminine, and slowly, not slowly, but quite quickly, it flips. The reality comes out quite quickly. The initial introduction, the first 1 minute of interaction with the every time you meet an inverted feminine, if you know one inverted feminine and you've met them many times, the first 5 minutes of interaction with them would be exactly like the divine feminine, and on the 10th, which is mutual bonding with everyone, and immediately it'll flip after the initial introduction of this energy. It flips, and the Queen of Cups reverse, that is mutual reverse, then they will start automatically, um, you know, uh, uh, backing away from the divine masculine, right? And so this, the divine masculine in this uh, has been introduced to a lot of inverted feminines through this distorted, to this friendship with this distorted masculine, right? And the divine masculine recognizes all of this, and they're waiting. They know that these inverted feminines are waiting to be released from this divine masculine's energy field, because it's painful that for them to for their real selves to show up, because that is what that inverted feminine energy is. It doesn't want to show up as a real self, and what ends up happening is that their real self is more of like the distorted masculine, not like the distorted feminine. They're more like the distorted masculine, and then they start showing up like this, like unable to to their hang on to their packaging. The personality, the personality is an interface that we built, right? That layer comes off, and what remains is like this uh, vacant feminine energy, which is unable to connect with a masculine energy whatsoever. So this is what is happening, you guys, like in the lives of the divine masculines who are connected with a distorted masculine energy in possibly a lifelong friendship. This is what is coming up in the future. Let's do some clarifications and see what's happening, what happened in the past, present, and future. The sun, there's some clarity on there's some release of this holding back and this deception. There's some clarity that's coming through. Maybe somebody decided to speak up. Ten of Cups. Yeah, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Yes, there was some emotional exchange between the individual regarding. It was a good emotional exchange, like, hey, look, we've come so far in life. We've done really great. Let's continue working on ourselves. And this is when we had met. We were much younger, naive, and look at how much we have grown and into our own selves and confident in our own selves and created this beautiful, beautiful persona and character. And our life reflects this exactly the way we want to. I think it's time to release. It's time to release any need to any bonds that we have with this low vibe, with these dark entities, dark energies. So yes, okay. Let's clarify the devil and the eight of, yeah, some information is coming through with the Ace of Swords. There's some information coming through about scattered information, but very clear information. Some words are clearly coming through that, but they're coming from this dark uh, place, a dark feminine place. There was a dark entity, a dark feminine entity that had whose energy field was around, and now that is being scattered. It's being scattered, and some clarity on the kind of foul play. So there was a dark feminine entity that was also perpetuating this trauma bond. These two were individuals. They were okay, but it forged this trauma bond between these two masculines, forced this connection, like kept them together constantly. There was a dark feminine energy that was working to keep these two together all the time, where they were happy to be functioning on. So one person thought the other person needs them, and the other person thought that the other uh, they need them. But it was just the devil creating that energy, and now information is coming to light, like actual clarity is coming to a light, and how this was conducted, this, this trauma bond between these two masculines. Clarify the Page of Swords. Yeah, so an illusion of some kind of there being some kind of a perfect love communication of perfect friendship was created. Like it was not what it looked like to other people. This friendship was not what it looked like to other people. There was an illusion created about this friendship and this bond, or how close they actually they never told anyone that they did not feel like they were best friends, but they created this illusion. Like I said, it was a trauma bond, right? So that's why this illusion was created. This there was a there were many things like that crossed over. This masculine had been there were many events, life events. And so let's say there's a life event of education, there's a life event of um, hobbies, there's life events of uh, different activities of marriage, family, and all of that. So these strings, like let's say both of them were carrying a string of education. It would start at two different points, and somehow like be mixed with each other. Family, be mixed with each other. Place they grew up in, be mixed with each other. Hobbies they indulge in, mixed with each other. Like love life and marriage and all of that. Okay, mixed with each other. It's like people were trying to like it's like how oh like let's say your parents had a set of they had another couple who they were best friends with, they grew up with, and they said that our children will be friends. It's that kind of situation. It not the details might not be the same for everyone, but it's that kind of situation. Like two people were forced to be friends with each other under any and all circumstances, right? So like this bond was forged, this friendship was forced, and they were kept together. Right, it was. There's definitely a mother and a child involved in this. It's because of that they had to be together. Just hold on a second, I gotta get the. So it's definitely that uh this I mean, I'm not saying that this mother and child are the same as this dark feminine energy. No, it's not that. It's this dark feminine energy is different, but as so it's showing up like a mother and child, or as these two masculine grew. um there was one person who or both of them, or there's one wife and a child showing up. right? That kind of situation. One of the person's family expanded and they have a child, they're a father figure, and most of the people in their life are fathers, and it was about being fathers, right? And there was one lady who also made sure that they acknowledge that there is a bond in between them, and it's kind of toxic. It's showing up to that you'll have a toxic bond. She might have been vocal about it. They might have been another friend, a masculine friend, or a spiritualist, a mentalist, a mentor, like a spiritual leader, or a father figure showing up here, a practitioner, a priest that these people consulted, and then they realized that the devil was here at play, like a devilish feminine energy was here at play. um, there was a lot of wisdom that was gained on that matter, uh, through this investigator, this exorcist, this spiritual investigator, the psychic investigator, whoever it was. Let's clarify the devil and the Nine of Cups. Let's see what comes out. Three of Pentacles. Let me get. So it's there's this trauma bond, that has so this trauma bond between this divine masculine and distorted masculine. They have what they have ignored, and that it's how it has influenced their work situation. It's created this energy of the created this energy that attracts the inverted feminine. Inverted feminine is the feminine that shows up in the initial stages as the divine feminine energy, but in fact is the energy that of the distorted masculine. Not exactly, but it's closely related to the distorted masculine. It is the one. It's the energy that has. Let's say if the distorted masculine is the distortion of the divine masculine energies, right? Uh, the inverted feminine energy is created so that that distortion, because the distorted feminine would not be a great match or a companion for the distorted masculine. That will just be so much distortion, right? So who is the companion to the distorted masculine? What is the feminine companion to the distorted masculine? It's the inverted feminine, right? So it was them working together was attracting a lot of inverted feminine energies, and that kind of hurt their business or work or career quite a bit. It was just this duo's connection, that trauma bond that created a lot of mental anguish energies, just but that mental anguish energy was just for the divine masculine, right? Because there was too much deception in it, and a lot of lies had to be spoken, a lot of truths had to be hidden. That's why it looked like a lot of lies were being spoken, right? And that affected the foundation in which they'd built their careers, right? Okay. And now it's like the work situations that they had built together out of this trauma bond, like their individual careers, individual work, like just came together. So now what has happened is like the divine masculine is phase of learning about the inverted feminine has come to a close, right? Inverted feminine, learning about the energy of the inverted feminine has been complete. So their association with um, any kind of feminine energy that is restrictive, restraining, controlling, hoarding, materialistic, overly toxic, possessive, jealous, nefariously, forging this bond. It's like that is what how far the the inverted feminine, if it is entertained, that is how far it will go. It will turn into a snake that is coiled around all of your eggs, and poisonously hissing at you for even looking at your own life, and it has control. And it seems like there were multiple, maybe two feminines, two or three feminines, two, three, four feminines in this inverted energy. Two must have hit the darkest of the inverted feminine, and one and two must be just lingering around, just causing like this suffocating, smothering like feeling, like these eggs crushing under the impression, like, suddenly turning from nurturing to ball busting, or not ball busting, but like nurturing to finding out that they're looking at it as sort of control or holding over ritual, holding over like coiling around um, things and objects and space, steering towards the ones that went really, really poisonous and nasty, the two inverted feminines. That entire chapter is closed. So, yay, divine masculine, like you have, because the sun is showing up here and the sun is showing up here and the world card and the hermit in reverse with all these feminine energies around you. That means the inverted feminine, right? That entire chapter is coming to a close in the future for the divine masculine, maybe in like, um, this is gonna last a week, right? It started possibly um maybe 3 days, maybe 3 days. Let's see, like if you get a timing card, I don't know what, like there's Taurus, there's Leo here, there's Libra here, there is yeah, Leo, Libra, Taurus, Capricorn, Mercury. I mean, the magician is Mercury. That is a Gemini, Virgo. Virgo here showing up as the hermit in reverse. So yeah, it could be any one of these. Um, let's see, but definitely the future is kind of a few. The event that is closing up in the future of what had roots in the past, and its ending is possible. Its energy, it's possible that this interference of this distorted comment, this devil, the dark feminine, like the toxic feminine, the karmic, really really dark feminine, she was dispersed possibly about 8 days ago, 8 hours ago, 5 days ago, 10 days ago, 10 hours ago, 5 hours ago. That in energy just like got uh, got dispersed, like the hold of the toxic, the devilish feminine energy, right? That has been released. Now this exorcism around like a workplace or a certain workplace where that it's like a common workplace for the distorted and divine masculine, right? They have their own individual setups, but it's like the space is common because these people were put under binding spell by this dark feminine energy, right? And which was brought to light by this beautiful mother of pentacles kind of energy, that this is what has been conducted. You all have been bound together to work together because you have a trauma bond, a toxic trauma bond, right? And this and you've been creating illusion, casting illusions after illusions in the world, like showing up like best friends, but you it's a trauma bond, and now it's affecting both of your careers and businesses, right? So this binding spell, so that's now getting undone. But what is coming in the way is the inverted feminine, right? So that the inverted feminine energy, because the inverted feminine energy is attached very strongly to the distorted masculine, and that's why the divine masculine isn't able to transmute and unbind this, because every time they try to unbind themselves from the situation, the inverted feminine comes towards the distorted masculine and gives them more power. It attracts another inverted feminine energy and traps the distorted masculine here in the middle. And the distorted masculine is attached to the divine masculine, and it just becomes very heavy. Like there becomes too many external parties, too many third energies um for them to deal with over there. And it's like that continuous loop, but that is coming to an end. that is coming to an end, because I think the divine masculine has learned exactly the nature of the inverted feminine and what it is. And it shows up, it shows up like the divine feminine, just to introduce themselves, to get an introduction and to get into the lives of this duo of the distorted masculine and the divine masculine. And the divine masculine, all their life they've been trying to figure out that why do these feminines come into my life, which seem very caring and nurturing on the surface, and then once they are introduced to me and they get into my life, they kind of suddenly flip. It's because they are there to be companions or to surround the distorted masculine, who is in this trauma bond with the divine masculine, with our divine masculine. And this could be either genders, okay? It could be a male or female. Both of us have the masculine and feminine polarity in us, right? But the inverted feminine has completely lost hold of their masculine energy. It's gone way too far in the shadows, and now they have just become like this companion energy suitable to be around a distorted masculine, supportive energy for distorted masculine. The divine masculine gets a divine feminine companion, but if a distorted masculine, the distorted it's like only the inverted feminine can be the companion to the distorted masculine, and possibly the inverted masculine can be uh, the companion to the inverted feminine. The inverted feminine and the inverted masculine could also be companions, but here I'm seeing that there is a distorted masculine in a trauma bond with the divine masculine, and the divine masculine is supposed to dissolve that 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 distortion, but they had both of them had just held back on getting clarity on what is causing this deceptive energy, like in between the two of them, when their intentions were pure, right? Why is there some kind of deception, a air of deception in their friendship, in their bond? And it got highlighted something, that there is something sinister going on here. They realized that there is some toxicity, there is some kind of um some work needs to be done. This dark feminine energy needs to be transmuted and released. So they dispelled the dark feminine, but too much time had passed, where too many events had happened in this friendship. And now it had turned into a trauma bond, and it had gone into their careers and businesses and money related things, right? And in that business place, they're attracting these inverted feminines, and they're like, okay, we know the dark feminine aspects, like the distorted feminine, wounded feminine, the low vibing feminine, and all of that. But like, and we know the divine feminine as well, right? Because the divine feminine presence is coming up here quite strongly with the Mother of Pentacles, right? We know the divine feminine energies, we know the goddess. Obviously, possibly the divine masculine has recognized who their divine feminine is counterpart is, and so the divine masculine as well as the distorted masculine are very well very well versed in the divine feminine aspect. So they're like, who are these type of feminines? And now they're discovering that this is a type of feminine that was hiding in the shadows, and low key kind of being there, like, hey, I'm your best friend, like, I'm just going to linger around. But they're bringing that energy field that does not associate with the healthy masculine ever. It only associates with the toxic masculine. And the divine masculine has been busy, has been occupied with learning this energy, right? And it fell in inverted. So they realized that they need to invert their perspective on the feminine, on the divine feminine, and how would it work. And that learning, right? The sun card, learning. So they were refusing to discuss this of woman problem or feminine problem, right? This inverted feminine could be either a male or female, in a male or female. So like, what is this, like, energy there? And they were refusing to, like, literally refusing to discuss it clearly, like, get clarity on them, like with discussion in between them. But they started discussing it as like a female problem, like, what is up with these women kind of a problem here. And that kind of dispelled this dark feminine energy out of this uh, out of their environment, right? But then it still lingered on, like it lingered on in the form of this inverted feminine energy. And now that is coming to an end because the divine masculine has been able to observe it with a distance, like from a distance, and from a more a higher perspective, like a celestial perspective. Here we have the sun god, like, probably the sun, like, the and the sun is the divine masculine, right? So the awakening of the divine masculine and him becoming very, very comfortable in his divinity, right, and his divine feminine energies, etc., like, is going in union. All of that happening is kind of closing the chapter of the learning of the aspects of the inverted feminine. Let us see what the Lenormand Fairy Oracle has to say, and then I'm going to close the reading after we get some oracle cards on the past, present, and future. I'm still looking for a timing, maybe 21 days. It always takes 21 days to for information to get incorporated. Uh, Maybe a month's time. We just had the full moon on when? When did we have the full moon? On the 6th of February, right? So possibly the 6th of March, somewhere around the 6th or 3rd of March, the third month is showing up here twice. Pisces season, also the end of the cycle of the zodiac. It's the last sign of the zodiac. So Pisces season is phenomenal when you want to clear some a psychic, clear some things off from the subconscious. It's an amazing month to do that. Put an end to. Oh my God, this letter is showing up again. Okay, this is the divine masculine's, like, a compilation of messages that just suddenly, like, went missing somewhere in between. It was because of this dynamic as well, like, there was some kind of healthy comparison, not comparison, comparing notes between this distorted masculine and this divine masculine, must that might have led to the divine masculine not communicating certain sentiments and emotions to his divine feminine, twin flame, soulmate, whatever you all resonate with, right? And now there is the ones that he didn't send, and also the ones that just went missing. That investigation that it showed up in the previous reading that I did, the Timeless Tarot Fund, for today, the 16th of February. So you all might want to go and look at that. But that set of messages is just coming through. So now they didn't communicate to the divine feminine. There's certain things that they didn't say to the divine feminine, certain messages that didn't go through the divine, to the divine feminine, right? It's the same thing that has happened when the same thing was discovered, the same phenomena was discovered when it came to the divine masculine's messages not going through to their best friend who was in the distorted masculine energies, right? And vice versa. So that those missing messages, those missing conversations have finally been compiled into like a piece of work, and maybe they're reading it out to each other, or they have made notes and they've made these letter that, okay, I need to discuss this point with him, I need to discuss with, like, making mental notes, continuously reading into that. This is what I need to talk to him, this is what I need to talk to him. And the divine masculine are obviously taking the initiative of starting the conversation, and it's getting reciprocated. they're getting reciprocation from the distorted masculine as well. So yeah, whatever was held back, all the thoughts that were held back, that were causing mental anguish, because this is a trauma bond. A trauma bond needs to be healed, and the way you can heal it has got to do with communication. And since the communication was not happening, conversations were not happening, the trauma bond was causing a lot of mental anguish, a lot of thoughts, and now those thoughts were released. Probably one major thought, one major insecurity um, that was causing a lot of pain to both the divine masculine and the distorted masculine, like equally, like that got released, that got released in the past. Sometimes too many cards. Too many cards. Just give me one card for the present. We have the tree, Seven of Hearts, Seven of Cups here. Like, okay, this is the Oh my God! I just noticed this. Like, we have the Seven of Swords and we have the Seven of Spades, which is the Seven of Swords. That's like synchronicity, and confirmation that I'm channeling the right messages. Like, okay, so Nine of Pentacles. It's like, remember when I was talking about the source of passion? I think there was a death, like, there was someone, a feminine, maybe a girl, a young girl, when they were young boys, a young girl who was their friend, who passed away. And look at this, like, there is a heart. Let me see, you know a heart here. Okay, so this is very serious. So how it's showing up is that, when they were young adults, possibly in high school, when they were teenagers, or possibly even when they were in out of high school and in college, right? They knew this young woman who both of them fell in love with. This is like first love, right? Very, very young love. And both of them fell in love with. And she did not think of them like that. And she was an inverted feminine energy. Like, she was uninterested. She wanted to live a single life. She might have possibly strung along both of these masculines, right? Like, led them on to believe that she would end up with either one of them. And it's like, I'm getting, she either committed suicide, or um she passed away because she was neglected, right? She was neglected. She was neglected and abandoned by her people who were supposed to be taking care of her, right? Or she herself self neglected her health issues. And because she was in the inverted feminine, both the divine masculine and the distorted masculine, both had something to learn from this. The distorted masculine had to learn about companionship with with someone else, so they played out that lesson with this inverted feminine. And the divine masculine learned, like, very, very deeply, subconsciously learned what it is to be associated, or com- uh, companions with this inverted feminine, so they had learned the lesson, right, subconsciously, of being with, so that they could help their friend release their need uh, for having an inverted feminine companion. But the death of this person led to the distorted masculine wanting to have more of this energy, and the divine masculine's growing aversion to this energy. Maybe the distorted masculine blamed the divine masculine for ignoring this inverted feminine friend that they had in and shared a crush or mutual. It was very it was a very young thing. Like, it wasn't something serious, but their death her death was very questionable. I mean, there was literally no like, it was possibly like she died of a heart attack, and the cause of death was a heart attack. But then what caused a heart attack in such a young person? The medical records history showed nothing. It's like the energy's purpose was, it's 12 o'clock, was fulfilled. She taught companionship to the distorted masculine. She showed the divine feminine, the divine masculine, that she's not the energy type that he is looking for. And but then what happened is, like, she created an illusion of guilt, and possibly, they kept hearing her voice ringing in their head continuously, because they kept attracting, after her passing away, they kept attracting a lot of inverted feminine, right, inverted feminines. They created, and then there was a tree where she was buried, or she was cremated, or they had carved they have found that she had carved these letter initials when it came to both of them, like, the distorted masculine and distorted feminine. It's a very, very, very weird love story, but it is definitely true for a lot of people. I'm sensing this. A lot of people, this friendship, the distorted masculine and the divine masculine friendship, as well as this love story with the young girl, this young love story. And now the divine masculine has realized that it's a very, very old lesson. It's a very Atlantean type of love story. Look at this Atlantean kind of artwork here. It's a very old love story. Um, that between the distorted masculine and the inverted feminine. So and let's get one more card. No, but like, I'm being asked to. It's something about the Nine of Pentacles and the number eight. Not eight of wands here, and we have the eight here. I think we had another eight somewhere, but no. Or the number nine. We have the Nine of Cups here, Nine of Pentacles here. Oh, one, two, twice, and we had it at the bottom of the deck once or twice earlier. And we have the Nine of Diamonds, that is the Nine of Pentacles, showing up three times. It's the same energy in the past, present, and future. So it's basically that the divine masculine is being able to shed light on this matter. They have, okay, now they understand the source, the sun, right? They understand the source of this, like, their passionate pursuit of this young woman. But it was platonic. It was purely friendship on the side of the masculines, both the distorted and the divine. And then they both blamed themselves for her death. That was the source of uh, passion, of building something together, being together, because of this fond memory that they have of this deceased girl who they discovered because of this tree. Uh, she had carved her initials along with the distorted masculine and the divine masculine's initials in the tree. That's what they're discovering. It's like it's probably where the three of them grew up when they were very young, and they're supposed to be there. But then you know what? Like this other feminine, this warm mother of pentacles feminine is saying, like what, that that's gone, and you have actually found a divine feminine who's going to be a part of this trio. And hello, distorted masculine, you are not supposed to be a part of this trio, right? Or something of that sort. Yeah, that's coming up. So like y'all can release this, y'all can end this. You've understood where the trauma is coming from and how are you being bound together. So this is what I have for you for this reading. It was very interesting. Everything, tarot is very interesting. So, and I will see you in the next reading. Please like, share, and subscribe if you would like me to channel just specific situations. And take care. Goodbye.